would you buy accounts?
So I'm not going to in this test specifically. And if I was to, and for just to provide someone that might be thinking about doing something like this or starting on buying and acquiring, like I don't rarely see these work out well. And I think that there is so much content about buying businesses. I think we've talked about this before, but it is way harder than it sounds. And I think it is completely overblown about how easy it is. Also, a lot of times finding a good deal, right? Like if I was going to do this and I was going to get a small operator, I would just be buying in their accounts essentially. I'd be looking at my customer acquisition cost, which I would establish, and then I'd go out to buy. And I'd just be really honest. I'd show all my ads. I'd show everything. I'd show all my leads. I'd show all my customers. I'd be like, this is my cost per lead, and here's my customer acquisition cost. I'm willing to pay this much per customer you give me. And I'll take the risk on that they churn as long as you let me confirm pricing. That's usually how I do approach a smaller operator. If they're a mid-size operator, I might use something like seller discretionary earnings, which for those that might not know, it's like not EBITDA. So EBITDA gets fancier for bigger businesses typically where the owner is not involved. But if the operator is still in the business, seller discretionary earnings is where you take the net income and then you add back the owner's compensation, any interest, any non-cash expenses like depreciation, add it back in. And then I'm going to remove the cost of hiring a general manager to replace them. And then I just apply an industry standard multiple on it, usually 2 to 4x in home services. So for example, like if they had $100,000 of net profit that they have, and then they took $80,000 as a salary, plus they had $40,000 of depreciation and one-time expenses. Okay, that's $220,000. And then I'm like, well, it's going to cost me $100,000 to get a GM in here, so that would put me at $110,000 of seller discretionary earnings. Then I would just multiply that by, I just show them like, this is 2 to 4x. I think you're at 2.4 based upon this industry, and I'm going to offer you 2.4 times $110,000. That's probably what I'd do is if I was trying to do an acquisition of a mid-sized company where there was an owner operator and they had a good brand. I didn't really want the brand, but I was just buying the business. But I'm not going to be buying any accounts.
Yeah. My experience with the accounts has been similar to yours. We've bought some, it's been a long, long time since we bought any accounts, and they've always been small little deals. Even if the pricing is right, it's like, and even if they'll sell them to me for what my client acquisition cost is, it's just still more difficult because they never picked me in the first place, meaning that account never picked me. So as soon as you buy the accounts, like, well, maybe as the homeowner might be, well, like maybe I should look around. I didn't choose City Turf or whomever the company is. And so you have to go through the whole education process, the win them over process, all the communications, like, this just feels way more difficult than just getting our own accounts. So the way I tend to think about it personally is it's the strategy used for speed. Like you're already spending so much money in digital ads, maybe even offline print ads. You're putting money everywhere trying to grow as fast as you can. It's like, how do I juice this thing even more? If you're at that place, that's when maybe the pain of acquiring accounts or other businesses starts to make sense. But if you aren't even doing that, it's like, it's probably not even worth it, has been my experience.
Yeah. And a lot of times too, even to that point, what I usually come back to is like, well, maybe getting set up new clients, you've made it too hard. Like if you required to roll a truck, well, yeah, now it takes a lot longer to grow your business if you got to roll a truck for every new lead. And have a 40% close rate, and now you have 3-4 salespeople. Well, yeah, now buying accounts does buy you speed. My question is though, like with instant quotes or over the phone estimates, or maybe you get someone to be able to fill in part-time during the busy season to take more calls so that you can answer more calls. Like I should be able to get as many leads as possible and drive them to an efficient system that turns a lead into a customer. And so a lot of times, even the argument around speed, it's like, speed compared to what? Like I can put ads up tomorrow and I can put a lot of budget into it. And as long as I don't have a bottleneck around getting them from a lead to a customer, I don't have a big long sales process and meeting the customer and a lot of costs and admin and salaries, then I should still go towards getting the customer myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
But it would be very fun just for the sake of online social media that if I was a little bit short of $1 million, just go buy the last few. That would really make people.
If you've built a $1 million home service business, but you're struggling to get to the next level at $10 million in annual revenue, I've created a private community just for you. It's called Home Service Boardroom, because what got you to $1 million is all the work, the hustle, the grind, figuring out your leads, your website. But what gets you from $1 million to $10 million is learning the skill of leadership, finding other great talent and managers to work for you. If that's of interest, go check out mikeandy.com/school or see the link in the description.